Hello, welcome to Tony's Bonsai. It's just a quick one today. I wasn't going to make a video, but it's so interesting I thought you just want to see it. So let's take a closer look. What we've got here is a Mint Julep juniper. I bought this earlier in the year. I did some work on it, recorded the footage, but I've lost it, so no one's ever seen it. And what happened was really interesting. From this angle you can see there's some roots here, but it's got like a kind of weird inverse taper, but there's a reason. From this angle you can see loads of this exposed internal deadwood, and I didn't really do it on purpose, but it's just sort of ended up this way. I was actually fairly convinced that this would die. I ripped so much of the tree out and it all just came off. It was a catastrophe. But I thought, let's give it a go, wire it down into position and possibly make it into an interesting bonsai. The job today is to basically remove this wire because it's really biting in, and I think it's going to give us a better view of what's happening under here. And all I'm going to do now is take this wire off and see, firstly, if the tree holds in place, but then also what it kind of looks like having been severely manipulated. It's had a good growing year. Oh, it seems to have held its shape really nicely actually. That's great. I can sort of, it's flexing a little bit, but it's basically held in position that now. There's growth all along the edges. The edges are starting to roll over, and I think I've turned this from something I was basically going to throw away into a tree with some character. I have heard that these mint juleps are absolutely bomb-proof, and they are tough. I've only removed the wire today because it was biting in quite heavily, and so I think what I'll do now is I'll reapply the wire just to bend it back down into that position again, just to hold it for the winter, but I'll change the position of the wire so it doesn't scar any further along the trunk. This is where the wire was previously, and it's developed a bit of a kind of knuckle around it. I'm not too bothered though, because that's going to be removed at some point in the future. But just in case I do decide to keep some of that, I'm going to reapply the wire, as I say, but just try and attach it to something different. Although where, I don't know. That seems like a natural place there. So I think I'll just, instead of going there, I'll just pull it over around this section there. Up, yeah, there, that's nice. So that's going to hold very well in there. So I thread that back down through there, and then I just want to reapply this there. See that bend? Back around like that. From this angle, I do quite like this branch, but I put some movement into it towards and away from the camera, but in this direction it's very flat, so I think I need to add some extra movement, so I'll put a piece of wire on that. I think what I'll do is, should it go up or down? This is my decision. I think it can come up with the flow of the tree, like that, and then down like that, and that just adds just a bit more interest to this branch instead of it being boring and straight. And while I was wiring that, I had to anchor it to something, so I decided to anchor it to this branch, which is straight, and this is an ideal one to come back towards the camera. I don't know if this will eventually end up even being in the composition, but if it is, it'll definitely be better if it's got a bit of movement in it like that. Definitely. Just there we go. That's nice. From this higher view now, you can see this is a nice bending branch, and this one sweeps around So I may possibly keep this and this and this, I don't know. These are decisions to be made at a later date, but for the time being now, it's back fixed in position and it's got a bit of new wire on it. So that was just a quick video just to show you what I'm up to today. I think this will be quite an interesting tree going forward, and sometimes I do like the idea of almost deliberately vandalising a tree to create some real character and that kind of appearance as if it's weathered a few storms. So I'll be updating on this in the spring. I'll remove the wire and prune off some of these longer shoots and hopefully move it along towards becoming an interesting bonsai. So if you want to follow the progress, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe. Other than that, as always, thanks for joining me. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.